Hey everyone, in today's Gwent Novigrad deck guide, we're looking at Whoreson Junior, and we're playing him with a mixture of Horde and with a mixture of Bounty, because I think the Bounty mechanic is actually pretty good. I think we underrated that a bit when we reviewed the card, but like in action, the Bounty mechanic allows a lot of, like, not infinite combos, but allows it to go pretty well. So we're going to play Whoreson with the Bounty mechanic. And if you like what I'm doing, if you want to see more Gwent Novigrad deck guides, then subscribe down below. And I would say let's head right into it, and let's go. Okay, let's start with a summary of the deck and what actually the goal of the deck is. And I wrote 3 sentences here which describes it very well. The first one is this infinitive bounty combo, which means we place a bounty on a unit, then we use our fee abilities of our damage dealers to kill that bounty unit. Then we get through bounty, we get coins back. Basically, coins we just use to kill that unit, we get back, place a new bounty in another unit, kill it, and through kill it manga, we can even like do this within one turn because we just pay a fee of free to place another bounty, so we can wipe the whole board if there is enough high power base units on the enemy side of the board, which is typically not the case. You can't do infinite with this, but you can do some real damage here, and that's the idea. And for this, you also control and clear the enemy board, so we don't want to, like, against ancient decks, this is pretty decent. Also, we have some key cards, and that's why we have Renew in there. So the idea is that we don't want to have all the combos in round 3. We want to split the combos over at least, let's say, round 1 and round 3. So with Renew, we are able to do that. So we're not, we don't need to focus on just winning round 1 with all costs just to execute a combo in round 3. We can actually execute some combos in both round 1 and round 3. And starting the round, we actually have Whoreson's Freak Show. And this card is pretty nuts and blue, because you play it and it's a 6 for 6, and if you don't have any coins, you just deal 1 damage to the Freak Show, and you can deal 1 damage to another card. And as soon as you have crowns, then you don't use the life of the Freak Show, but you can actually use your crowns to apply bleeding. So this card is actually better if you don't have crowns. So you start off with this, and whatever the enemy plays after you, you just remove it. Then you play Tactical Advantage on the Freak Show, it's full life, and you just removed everything from enemy's board again. And then you can do that again, and then you just play the Blind Apothecary, and she can either heal or boost the enemy. If you play 3 of 1, you can actually do both. So if you just deal 5 damage with Whoreson's Freak Show, you just heal it up to 6 and you can do 5 damage again. So if you then already start to add bounty to the thing, like, then Freak Show could, for example, execute your first bounty, and it's pretty nice. So this is one of the best cards to clear the board if you don't have a lot of crowns, and even if you have a lot of crowns, then you can apply bleeding to a lot of enemies. So pretty good starter. Then we have the bounty combo, and one of the most important cards here is Kill It Manga, because he gives you a profit of 3, and then you have a fee ability of 3, so you pay 3 coins, and he puts a bounty on whatever unit you choose. So if you have a lot of crowns, you can just play on the board and you just distribute bounties all over the enemy's unit. So you can then play, for example, the Witch Hunter Executioner to deal 1 damage to each of the units 1 by 1. And if you kill one of the units, you get the base power in gold or in coins, and then just do it again. So he's the amazing setup for the Witch Hunter Executioner, for example, but also for Borsodi, because Borsodi just deals 2 damage for 2 coins. So he can do exactly the same thing. He's even a bit better than the Witch Hunter Executioner, because the Witch Hunter Executioner would only do bleeding if an enemy doesn't have bounty on it. So Borsodi is like the better Witch Hunter in Witch Hunter Executioner. So if you can play manga and then you play one of those, you are able to get a lot of removal while you still keep your coins because of the bounty. So this is like the wombo combo you want to pull off, and try to keep those cards alive, because if those cards die, you may have a problem. So you want to either renew them right away, or you want to focus on some other combos until, for example, in round 3 you can play the combo again. Then we have other bounty claimers, and one is Boris. Boris is cool. Boris is a bear. Boris deals 3 damage to an enemy, and if you kill an enemy with it, then you get 3 crowns. So if you place a bounty on a 3-point unit, you would get 6 coins by killing it with Boris, 3 from the bounty and 3 from his death probability. So good way to remove some units from the board, get some coins in return, and even like trigger bounty. The Arena and Draga is not as strong to claim a bounty, but for a fee of 1, you can... It's let's say it's light longship of Skellige just for Syndicate. You gotta pay a fee of 1 to deal 1 damage, or it deals 1 damage to itself to deal 1 damage. But he does a cooldown of 1, so you can only use it once per turn. This is why it's not as good, but it's still pretty decent. And then we have Morils. And he does 4 damage to an enemy, which is often enough to kill most of the stuff you want to place a bounty on, because typically like the base power of units is not exceeding 6 most of the time. So he can just, if you place a bounty on something, you can just play Morils and just claim the bounty right away, kill the unit. He also has a tribute of 6 to destroy a unit, so if you play, I don't know, against Skellige for example, and they play a Valkyrie or something, and you can use Morils as a finisher, then that's fine as well. But typically I play him just for the 4 points of damage on deploy. And the last one is your lead ability. Your lead ability does 7 damage to an enemy you choose, and for example, if you hit like a 5-point unit, then you don't need the 7 points of damage. And the good thing about him is then whatever you don't use for damage to kill the unit, you get back in crowns. So you can get up to 6 points in 6 coins if you kill a 1-point unit, for example. But the real beauty is if you place a bounty on someone's head, you can just use your lead ability to just get the bounty and the coins from Whoreson Junior. So pretty good in combination with bounty. What else do we have? We have some like miss cards, let's call them. One of them is Philippa. If you have a lot of crowns, Philippa can give you a ratio of 2 to 1 for each coin you spend. So, but that's not even like the point of like playing high value Philippa. The idea is if an enemy has an engine and you want to have that engine, for example, maybe he plays the Whoreson Freak Show himself, or there's an IMK on the enemy board, then you can just use Philippa to steal that engine. It doesn't get locked, so the engine will from then on trigger for you. What I've seen as well is if you play, the enemy plays a Flying Redanian, for example, you just play Philippa, steal the Flying Redanian for yourself, and run free, and you just have like 8 points extra on the board if you can trigger the Flying Redanian as well. So Philippa is a good way to steal an enemy engine. If you just want to kill an engine or just remove an engine, then better use your other tools to do that. Philippa is really about stealing. Then we have Horse Basuri. He's a good coin spender as well. For the combo you need Ewald Basuri because he's able to do damage, but he's also good with cards, for example, like Whoreson's Freak Show to keep Freak Show alive, and then Freak Show can transfer his health into damage again if you already buffed him up and you have no crowns anymore. So he's not bad, but if you want to choose Ewald, but he still gives you some profit and he can still spend some crowns, for example, in round 1 when you don't need it. And if you have him in the graveyard, then the profit of Ewald Basuri will increase from 2 to 4. It's the same vice versa, but typically you want to play Horse in round 1 so you can get the extra profit on Ewald in round 3. And the last one is Siege Rufenmarker, aka Dijkstra, and we have so many different gangs in the deck that his profit increases from 4 to 9, which means you can just play Sigi and you get immediately a Flying Redanian out because you suddenly have 9 coins at the end of the round. And this is especially powerful if, for example, you already have Basuri on the field, or if you already have Caleb in the field, and he can really kickstart the combo by giving you a lot of coins to just like wreak havoc, so to say. So pretty good enabler. And then we talk about Renew, not Review. So Renew is a card that enables you to run free to enable a combo again, which you, for example, already may have played in round 1. So you can get Caleb back, for example, you can get Ewald back, you can get Sigi back if you just suddenly need 9 crowns, you're not able to get Redanian up, or you want to enable Philippa, for example. Or the Freak Show. Freak Show is also pretty good. If you're forced to go and run free, for example, then I typically want to renew a Freak Show, because whatever the enemy plays after the Freak Show is typically will just die. Except maybe Skellige, where there's a Marauder coming. That's where I don't want to play this right away, but against most other decks, this is just a good card to play. Then we have some Finning with Sewer Raiders, which automatically pulls a copy from the deck if you have at least 4 crowns. And the Casino Bouncers, we typically want to play as soon as possible as well, when you don't have any crowns. So maybe after Freak Show, for example. Sometimes even before the Freak Show. If you don't have Freak Show, then you can start with this in round 1 as well. Then last but not least, I'm not sure if it's last but not least, but like this is another good card you have, it's the Witch Hunter, and he's just a 4/4 but plays the bounty on the enemy head. So if you already have, for example, a Witch Hunter Executioner on the board, then you can just use the Witch Hunter to just give another bounty on the head, so the combo can continue. And the same as with Slender, puts a bounty on the head and you gain 3 coins for it. So it's I think it's a bit of weaker card than Witch Hunter, but the good thing about it is it gives you 3 coins. So if you have, for example, an Executioner on the point, but you don't have any crowns, then Executioner can already start hitting people, maybe already claim the bounty. So that is pretty good. So now we are last but not least, I promise. One of the good cards we have in there is Flying Redanian as well. Typically you are able to get to 9 crowns in a round, especially with Sigiruven. So you can utilize 4 points in round 1, round 3 as well. Depending if the enemy plays round 2, you may even be able to play the Redanian round 2. You typically don't want to play round 2 because you rely on the combo. So you want to play round 1 and round 3, but no round 2 typically. But that's where you can get the Redanian out. It's also a bit of thinning if you already get her out in round 1. Then you have Tunnel Drill, which is a tech card. If the enemy plays artifacts, for example, there's a lot of Summoning Circle on out there, then you want to play Tunnel Drill to just enable yourself to get rid of those. And often, like they're playing, for example, if against Eternal Fire, Tunnel Drill is also pretty good. So you don't need it per se, but it's a good tech card to have if you are up against artifacts. And then we have the Temple card, which we don't want to play because it's just, it buffs 3 adjacent allies by 3 and is a 2-point card. But it has the Eternal Fire tag. This is why we have included it. Otherwise, Sigiruven won't be able to go to 9. And this is about the deck. And I would say let's head into some example matches and see how it plays out. Okay, it's either Skellige or Syndicate. That's the two factions you encounter at this moment. Some are his queen, some. Sigi, renew, that's good. We don't need you. Okay, we don't need you. And, well, now we're stuck with those because we're playing on red. Well, that's a shitty mulligan, can happen. Could have been worse though. Freak Show we don't have, which is a problem. Also, we don't have any. Well, we have one Executioner, which is our spender. Let's see how we do this.
Lots of prior experience. Worked with idiots my whole life.
It's so good, it's so good. Oh, the question is if we care here. We just play Mango. Or we don't really have a way to. We could play Sigi here. I could just give him the round, I don't care.
Fancy a game of Kaviri?
So actually let's drop the shitty cards and just be out of here. Don't have the tools I need. Slow-mo.
Exotic wonders, affordable prices.
Oh, that's pretty good. That advances. We need him to play 2 more cards.
Use that, smell that.
Can we actually kill him with 3 cards? With the Executioner we can. Okay. Bounty, what card do we spend here? Tunnel Drill probably, because he doesn't have run Summoning Circle, I think. So if he stops playing now, we go for it, otherwise we just let him exit the round. No, you can play Sigi next round, if we want to. Ransack is trigger death blow even if the enemy has sweat. That's pretty good. Okay, there we go. Don't want to play on here. There's a lot of crowns, this dude. Slender, I mean, it's another way to get bounty on it. This is good. This is not good. We have some ways to get bounty on there. So, oh my god, like, my draws today are amazing. And what does it change? The chance? 8%, 7%. Well. Seems like no Curators for me here. Other question, how quickly we commit to playing something here. Okay, Prophet 6, sure. Well, I think we see here.
My lads will make sure of that.
Now we are ahead, so it's fine. And we can always play Execution afterwards. It's bleeding, so it's not perfect, but what can we do? Now I would have loved to play the Curators, but I drew really shitty here. He seizes Meridian, that's pretty good. The question for me is, what do we play now?
Evil's not going anywhere.
He could pass now, it would be pretty good for him. Yeah, there we go. We play Witch Hunter now, just to get back to some crowns.
Our piles will light up the north.
There you go, some crowns for carry over. And then his last save, which is pretty bad. But what's even better is that he has 2 Redanians. Okay. No Freak Show still. There we go. At least that's something. The thing is, with the Freak Show, we can currently use it because we have carryover, so we want to probably try to use some other stuff before. Play the end. There you go. Instead of the Entrega, we can always play Fixture after. That combo is pretty good here. We still have the Witch Hunt Executioner. So if you can combo that, then we're fine. I still have Renew. We could go for another Basodi, for example. Don't necessarily need to go for Sigi. Okay. Toppler, okay, sure. That's not a good tribute to hit. I don't care. Let's get some coins out. Whatever he has now, we can then immediately kill it. And kill the Freak Show. We still have another Witches. We could also go Witch Hunter first instead of playing Caleb here. When I play it later, probably, in combination with him. Yeah, like, those are no good bounty targets. Those are not good bounty targets. What to do is a question. You can still go a lot, like, insane on this. Just kill this. Now just heal it up again. There we go, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, let's see what comes out there to make some crowns. That's probably my Renu target even. We'll see. Or Basori, probably. Just need some spenders here. Also, gonna get a lot of coin by placing Bounty and then using Whoreson. Give me something where Bounty actually makes sense. Doppler's just like give me 1 point. Doesn't really make sense to play Bounty on a Doppler. So give me something where it actually makes sense for me.
My auction house.
That, for example, makes sense to me. So the problem is, like, if I place Bounty on this right away, or just what's going to happen is he will then play the other Basuri. So we're not going to play our Basuri first.
My time the north was cleansed.
You can kill my Freak Shop, of course. We actually keep this, because then we can play the Sewer Raiders. I'm pretty sure it will kill my Freak Ship. There we go. 8, that's easy peasy. If he doesn't kill my Andraga, I'm going to Boris it. And I have a lot of coin on the side. Which we can then use to go for some of our combos. Yes, let's go. Let's see if he has Renew. The later we play those, the safer we are. Which also means we have one more turn to play this, for example. And he wants to get the Radiant out, I guess. Yeah. There we go. Maybe Philippus, I don't know. We will see. Don't want to give him a good Philippa target. I mean, this is probably pretty okay. But still. Sure. Like, I don't care at all. That's pretty good though.
These are grounded in shite first. The heads in the ground.
Do we use it? No. 8 points. This is so good. Flipping. Oh yeah, because you flip at my Redanian. Never mind.
Point is fleeting. Barracks are forever.
That's pretty good as well. So for me, the question is now, how do we do this? Can also see later for Basuri. So I'm thinking of just just going for a lot of tributes.
On the special fire for you.
There you go.
Chanel.
There we go. There we go. Now we can already start hitting stuff. Do we have Basuri brought in the graveyard?
Listen, I just work.
Okay, he tries to actively go against it. So I think we need to go Sige first. Oh, we can also like Whoreson, so we could already start going with it, like playing Executioner and playing Whoreson first. If we killed this, it would not be enough. So I think we just... I want to let this live, kinda. Establish reaches. Then we go with Executioner.
The job's a job.
There we go. And then we can kill the blacksmith. And we get money back. There we go. Okay, for now, this is okay, I guess. You can always go Dijkstra and go for Basuri. I'm just afraid that he goes up to 9 again for pulling that Redanians out again. That's something I don't wanna see. Okay, does he kill? The Executioner. Oh, he actually goes for bleeding. Interesting. Because that's something I want to go for. Like, I want to play... I want to just kill. So I think I go for Dijkstra here. Where is he? There is he, Siggy. And there we go, it's the victory. Nice. Bounties. Wow, I'm playing against something which is not Syndicate. And I heard actually Spallblood is probably one of the better decks to work against them, so let's see. We are blue and we have Freak Show, that's pretty good. We got 2 of those, so that's something we don't like to have. That's good against Skellige. And Dragera, perfect. I would like to see... Oh, there we go. Witch Hunter can give bounties, that's good as well. Renew, we use either on Freak Show or on something else. I think this is okay-ish. Could be better. We only have 1 big spender, really. So that's the problem. So we could... Because this is cooldown. So, Trill... Yeah, okay, that could happen. Well, that was a bit of a miss mulligan, but hey, what can we do? In this case, we don't play bounces first. We actually start with Freak Show. And there's not really much you can do. You can of course hit it, but we still have advantage. So whatever he plays, we can kill it. If he plays Marauder now, we're still fine. We just use tackle advantage and good. I can even think of you just Witch Hunt whatever we get right away, so we can get before that. That's not bad actually, because we can kill it right away. We could go with more reals. Yeah, the question is if we actually do this, because if we do this right now, what's happening is that he won't get a second one out and he's stuck with Mulligan. And that's kind of good. Like I like to do this. We could have also used him on Harald, but that's what we have Freak Show for. So, and I like to give him a card into his deck, which he, well, let him like let the German Queen's card in the deck so he can't use it. That's pretty good as well. But we have Boris, so it's not perfect. There we go. I'm getting the crowns. Nothing's triggering here. 5 is still something I can't kill right away. Okay, now we're talking. Now we go for some value here. I mean, the thing is, like, we actually have to Freak Show, so I can't use it right away. We could 31, including 1 turn. Now we would need the bounces. Now we would need the bounces. What do we do here? Anyway, we place a bounty on his head, because why not? And we can still use it once. Because we don't care. If he has Harald, he can kill me Freak Show now. But I just didn't want to put it to 10.
Fill our hearts with roar.
Okay, that's good actually. Now we just put a bounty in it, put a bounty in it. Put a bounty in it, but like just use it. And what do we play then? Because now we're a bit stuck here. Don't want to apply the bounces. I kind of have to. Could also play, but then I kill. Well, let's play the bounces, I guess. It's a 4-point card. Well, not perfect.
Accept our sacrifice.
Okay, now we're talking. And we get a coin. I can hoard, which is nice.
Long ships are over races.
I think we actually need to go out at some point. These cards are just that nice. I mean, we can't just kill Olaf. The question is, do we want to play because of corruption here? Maybe just play the second one.
What's that up your sleeve?
Don't have anything. Let's go for it. For this one, the Knight leaves blood first or something. And use some coins here, I guess. Actually, I can use it twice. I mean, why not actually? We're trying to go out here now.
For the clan! For Skellige!
Can do it in one turn for sure, and it's not it's not a pick. It's not the thing. But with this card, like, we can't play on. We could have Whoreson Junior and the Olaf, but at least we got Lugos out.
Show me what flows in your veins.
We didn't draw like the good cards here. We also got the Knut Olaf combo out, so it's not that bad. We used 3 gold cards, got some bronzes out. Could have been worse. Of course, the corruption is still there. Since Olaf is not there anymore, he probably wants to have Valkal, and Valkal happens as his last card, so Curse of Corruption won't hit that, so we probably need to use Curse of Corruption earlier. There we go. Good cards. You are not. And I'm probably just keeping this so we can dump it. I think he dry passes anyway, so if he doesn't dry pass, we need to use Whoreson to go for the big guns, so to say. But he doesn't, and that's why we can
Oh, who goes there?
play the Temple Guard. As a Curse of Corruption will be a bit troublesome now against Trollblood because the champion won't be. We can't target champion. That's good. Witch Hunt is good. You got the Pazzoli brothers. I would like to see Caleb, but it's a bit like trickier to mulligan here, so I'll probably just keep this. It's not a bad hand, so. Do we start off right with Skellige? Or do we just go for the Freak Show right away? If he's a Marauder, like, he would kill a Freak Show early. And then I can play Basodi immediately and, like, heal it up to 4. Let's see. As I said, we have first Basodi to buff it up again if the Marauder comes down. Or if Skellige comes down or whatever. Let's see. If it doesn't kill right away, I want to play Skellige.
1,000 thunder and sea
Okay,
devils!
Yalma comes down. Good. Well. So at least Yalma is out. Let's get some coins here. Probably wanna play. The problem is, like, all of these give me profit, so probably wanna play Philippa earlier. Question is, what do we steal with Philippa anyway? I mean, Harald would be a good choice probably. You can also, like, use Basodi on that. In this case, I actually think I need to steal the longship. The only reason why I do this is so I can profit from the profit, because currently, like, the profit would just, like, max out and I don't have any benefit from that, so. Okay, let's see. Murata? Well, the chances are pretty good.
Let us put our steel to the test!
Oh, pretty good one. So I think in this case we just go Basodi.
My auction house. A meeting spot for the local elite.
Just buff them up again. Don't want to have damaged units on our side. The good thing about this one is we can just use it use it to go down. Okay, there's now the Harald. So this gives me a power of 2. We'll place a bounty on its head. As I said, like wild call probably won't happen too soon, so.
Our pyres will light up the north.
There we go. We actually just executed right away. We actually use Edward anyway, so. Let me get some crowns here. Pretty nice as well. We use it twice. Once, actually, once, because then we have a Bosodi and that's like a profitable one max up again. We have the Redenian already out, so that's nice. Because of corruption currently, still would hit this one, so we need to be careful what we do here.
The job's a job.
To get it down, so to say. Give bleeding to unit for one turn with this bounty, damage one is that blah blah blah. Let's do it like this. So we're now exactly at 9, which means more. Well, it actually doesn't matter because no, 6, 5. Well, we need to get this down, but then still Siege is a target, so that's it's a bit problematic.
Every last copper.
Well, at least let's kill Yalma here. Let's get this to 5. Let's get this to 5. Now we have 1 tick with Bosodi and 1 Executioner. Oh, okay, maybe we should. Well, actually, it's fine. We have Crest of Corruption. It's perfect. Everything is fine. There we go. Crest of Corruption. And now we just buff our units, I guess. Like, we don't need to damage anyone, so. And do we give Lighting to unit? We can hit this, but like then he can just execute it anyway, so nah. So we can, Wild Claw will come out, Swabble will come out, he will have pretty decent push now. Question is just, is it enough? I'm happy about the Crest of Corruption though. Yeah, there we go. Pew pew pew. You can even transform those. Oh, there we go. And then has to already get the 5 points from the. So it has a 32, 34. That's not enough, right? As far as I see, it's not enough. Yeah, there we go. Another 5-point bar. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Even though we misplayed in the beginning. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Subscribe if you want to see more Gwent content, especially my in-depth Gwent guides going live on weekends. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page where you can support this channel and get cool rewards in the process. My Twitch times are Monday to Thursday starting at 2 CET. See you on stream.